Hi there, my name is Steven. Um, I'm an intuitive coach, tarot reader, energy healer, Akashic record reader. Um, and we're going to do a little card reading right now. So, wherever this is finding you, it's finding you at the perfect time. Um, I'm recording this on November 15th. It is currently 1:43. I was just taking a moment to tune in. 1:43 is, the number for I love you. But it was so interesting as I was tuning into the messages for today. Um, I was just feeling a lot, I think, especially around the heart, solar plexus, and the sacral chakra. Um, I think the big keys that were coming through are just around navigating, navigating overwhelm, navigating anxiety, and almost doing that through offering ourselves a very loving and nurturing quality to ourselves, offering ourselves compassion. Um, Almost like slowing down, not forcing ourselves um, to need to prove or to do anything within our existence, but to just like witness ourselves and to be like, it's okay wherever you're at. It's okay with whatever you're doing. Um, and we'll go ahead, we'll see what other messages want to unfurl as we start our reading. But if you want to take a moment, I'm going to invite you to just, if you want to place a hand on your heart, if you want to take a breath in, if you want to imagine roots moving down from your body and into the earth. And as always with any space, I um, just call forward the angels of the 12th dimension and above to just hold and protect this space. May this be imbued with the frequencies that you need at this time. Holy Father, Divine Mother, asking for your support in just this reading today. May this be for the highest good of the collective, of all those who are receiving this message today. And so that said, right, let's start things off. Well, and this is the first time doing this. This is also very spontaneous for me. So, this is something I've been wanting to do for some time, but it just really kind of hit me. I was like, something just hit me. It's like very late at night right now. I'm not usually up at this hour, but something was like, go do a tarot reading. Go upload that. Anyway, so here we are. So let's go ahead. I guess we'll go ahead. We'll do this. I'm wondering if I want to do a spread. Do I want to do some? I'm feeling something more intuitive. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do this in a more intuitive way. We'll kind of see what messages want to come through, what the illustration is. So first of all, we have the Nine of Cups. And what I'm seeing here with the Nine of Cups, if we're taking a look at that, really, this is like opening. What I'm getting is like there's an activation, there's an opening of the heart, there's more of an opening up to being more playful in life, and in opening up to this playfulness, it's like, almost like allowing yourself to be a little bit more theatrical, letting yourself dress up a little bit more, maybe put on that piece of clothing that like maybe you might initially hesitate to, but you see it and you're like, ooh, yeah, that feels so good. Or maybe it's playing that piece of music where you're like a little, it's that guilty pleasure where it's like, I really like this, but I'm afraid people are going to judge me for it. It's like, put that on, play it, put that piece of clothing on. But this is kind of like that. And it's like almost kind of like that energy of like, let yourself say that like ballsy but like kind of very playful, lighthearted thing. So that's a great message so far, and that Nine of Cups especially, it's really is that card of joy and of happiness. We have a couple cards that just came out from here. So we have the Hangman. This is the card of Pisces. And the Hangman in particular, I mean, one thing to really note about the Hangman is that it is about pulling away. Pulling away, I want to say isolating, but it's almost kind of like depriving our senses. Um, the hangman in particular, oftentimes in the traditional tarot, is depicted as a man who puts himself upside down, tying his feet to a tree. And with that, that hangman is pulling away to get clarity. He's tying himself to a tree, not so he can feel trapped, not so he can, feel stuck, but to put himself through the necessary suffering in order to get clarity, to get clear on why he's feeling a particular way, or to get a different perspective on what's going on in his life. Um, Putting that together, we also have the Seven of Cups, and this is the card of decision making. It's the card of almost feeling like we have so many options, feeling almost like overwhelmed by the amount of options that we have. So almost what I'm kind of sensing here is like, don't let yourself get so overwhelmed with like the things that you're moving into. Don't let yourself get so overwhelmed by the things that you're moving into, or by the options that you have. I think there's a really good thing to remember is that like the universe is constantly recalibrating based on the choices we make. And so that said, if you need to take time to yourself to really feel like what is the best thing for me, take that time. Pull back if you need to. And also that could be the very beautiful, fertile space for that authentic expression, that joy, that happiness, that part of you that is a little bit more daring and dashing and is like, hey, I'm here, I'm bold. Like, that's a good place for that to come up. From here, I just want to check in and see, right, like this Seven of Cups, like what is this, for this collective, like what is this decision making about? What is this decision making, this consideration, this overwhelm about? Ooh, so juicy. So we have the moon, which I'm doing this reading on a literal full moon. Important to note. So that moon card it's about our deeper intuitive knowing. It's also about the subconscious. There could be, I'm really feeling there's a lot of heart healing that's happening for people. Almost kind of like for some people, some people might be in relationships, and there's this navigation of healing around, do I stay in this relationship? Do I pull away? Do I continue feeding my energy into this relationship? Do I pull away? Do I continue playing in old patterns of, maybe codependency, or do I start to give my own heart the love and the tenderness and the affection that it needs? Really powerful stuff. So we have that moon. Oh, and right, we follow that up with the Magician. Boom, boom, boom. Like, this is literally that energy of like, I'm going to take these subconscious old wounds and patterns and I'm going to channel this. I'm going to, find my source of creativity. I'm going to take some time to maybe go in nature. I'm going to sing. I'm going to dance. I'm going to, whatever that creative ritual is for you. It's like, it's a matter of using, or even just meditation, right? It's even just getting still and just being with the feelings, acknowledging the feelings, and letting that perform its own transformational process that wants to move through. And really, we follow that with justice, right? So it's almost kind of like this process that you're going through of healing is bringing things into balance for you. Like, it's almost kind of like it's almost kind of like you were like on one end of the pendulum, and it's almost kind of like this process of you alchemizing what you are feeling is kind of bringing you back to this like center place of like, oh, I'm right here. My heart is right here. My breath is right here. Shoulders are right here. And you're coming back, and you're really doing it. And I think that is it's absolutely worth celebrating. And I think as well with that Justice card, it's kind of bringing you to a deepened clarity just about your own values, and how you live from your values, and whether you're living and operating in those values. And so I'm gonna just, lead it back for a moment, moving back to that hangman that we spoke about earlier. It's like, I think it's so important, and the hangman and that Seven of Cups, it's so important that, we filter through the decisions we make through the lens of our values. Because if we're not operating through our values, it's very possible we're doing things out of integrity, which can cause this it can be kind of gross and kind of icky and kind of and it can feel like we're forcing ourselves through life. The invitation here is let yourself really release any of the subconscious wounds that you have, any of the things that are keeping you operating in force, in inauthenticity, so that you can kind of come back to center and be able to listen to your own intuition, your own intuitive knowing. And what is this all leading us to? I mean, it's almost kind of like in being able to address this, you're opening up the floodgates to new connections. You're meeting new people. There's potential networking. Or even coming together with friends to celebrate something. It could be celebrating getting a new job. It could be celebrating new friendship, toasting to even just simply life itself. I'm getting the word celebration of life. But, in pairing that with the Ten of Pentacles, right, this is really the card of complete and utter material satisfaction and abundance. Also the card of family. And I think ultimately, right, we are our own. It's only us who can get in our own ways. And I guess just what's clearing out is just just it's those indecisive energies. It's those, and it's also that tendency to not trust our intuition. And so as you start to lean in and trust your intuition more, when you trust yourself, only good can come from that. And that might sound like a little bit of a trite thing to say, because especially if, say, we've been living solely in our head, right? How do I put it? To trust is also to trust in the body, the miraculousness in our body, to trust in the miraculousness in our ability to heal, and so on and so forth. Even say the miraculousness in the creative process, as we see in the Magician card. But all things said, I'm just going to pull a couple more cards and just see if there are any other messages. I do see here the Wheel of Fortune, and I do see the Six of Swords, and we've also got the World. Wow. Okay, so we go 20 to the Six of Swords to the 21 card. Oh no, the Wheel of Fortune is the 10 card. But in any case, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is really symbolic of cycles, comings and goings. Also, of course, can be symbolic of actual blessings, lucky occurrences. What is this with regard to? I mean, we're pairing this with that Six of Swords. So really coming to a place of mental clarity. This is also the card of reason. So really kind of coming to that place of almost kind of let me pull a clarity card around this, right? What is the Six of Swords about? because Six of Swords is oftentimes, it's this card like where we've come to terms, we've come to acceptance, we've been able to see a certain pain or issue from many different angles. And Knight of Pentacles, right? So like the Six of Swords is about the Nine of Pentacles. This is about like maybe our relationship to work, our commitment to work, or our commitment to our career path, or even our commitment to, say, showing up to our lives. Is there anything else beyond this Knight of Pentacles, or anything that wants to complement this? And we have the Fool. Yeah, so what I'm getting, for a lot of people, there's a lot of people here who want to, like, maybe start a new career, or a lot of people who want to maybe start their business from the ground up, or want to change something about what they're doing, or the way in which they're operating in their world, or even, say, in their daily life. I think that Knight of Pentacles, he's very much about structure, so, like, even as far as, like, routine goes, like, but there's definitely something here that's really been on your mind, and you're gaining that mental clarity about, like, almost like, I get the words, accepting that you have a lot more power to change things than you realize. Having a lot more power to change things than you realize. I think, you know, a lot of the times we might feel victim to certain circumstances in our lives. What this really tells me is that, like, you're kind of in that space of seeing, like, okay, no, there are things I can change here. Even if it's just a small little thing that maybe, you know, sometimes it's just like, okay, if I notice I'm feeling a moment of disconnection at work, let me, you know, take a moment and take a minute, put my hand on my heart, breathe. Let me notice the grip of my own mind, and start to let go of the tentacles, or invite mind to let go of the tentacles of attaching to my brain, body, mind, emotions, essence. Anyway, and then, you know, this is all followed with the World card, which is really just symbolic that we're entering a new karmic cycle. So this is really huge. I mean, what I really sense here is that, like, you know, it's the word glow up. I'm really getting the word glow up. There's a glow up in the sense that, like, as you start to change these subtle things, like, these things also are going to change your energy. They're going to change how you feel inside of yourself. And not only that, you know, it's like, it's almost kind of like, you know, it's like oftentimes, like, you know, I think the common paradigm is that people oftentimes feel like, oh, they have to go on vacation in order to relax. What I'm getting kind of here is that, like, you know, you're kind of having these epiphanies of, like, oh no, like, I can relax right now. I can enjoy myself right now. I don't need to worry as much right now. So that's really cool. Yeah, I just get a lot of courageous energy, even with that Fool card. Just seeing here, are there any last questions that I want to ask? I am feeling a yes, and I'm definitely feeling things around the heart. Ooh, and I guess I'm picking up on just like, because I think at the beginning I was just picking up around messages around self-criticism or harshness toward oneself. What can this collective do to release self-criticism, or to transmute self-criticism? We had 3 cards that came out. That's fun. Okay. And so basically what we've got here, we've got the 9 of Wands, we've got the Death card, and we have the Queen of Swords, right? So 9 of Wands in particular, this is that card of, like, feeling we're at our wit's end, like feeling like, oh my gosh, can I keep going? Can I do this? Like, feeling like this is a little too much. Like, even just this card kind of gives me like this desolate kind of barren kind of feeling. But putting putting these side by side, like we've got the death card that follows suit. What I really kind of sense here is that, like, you know, as you're sometimes our old ways of being need to hit a fever pitch in order for things to change substantially. So if, that critical voice is coming up, if harshness toward yourself is coming up, like, recognize it's coming up for a reason. It's coming because it wants to move out. It doesn't want to be a part of your life forever. In fact, right, death is symbolic. It is literally transformation and rebirth. In other words, what we really see with the death card is that, like, like, oftentimes, like, it's these old identities that we have that are just dying away, right? So those parts of you that are burned, that have been experiencing maybe resentment or dissatisfaction or unhappiness, or are, kind of in that space of criticism, be it towards self or current circumstances, realize that, they're coming up for a reason. You do not need to give them full credence as truth, but you can start to notice them and ask as they come up, be like, is this, of course, this is the last card, but is this really truth? Is this really of my essence? And this is at the heart of the Queen of Swords. I'll say this is the last card we'll end with. The Queen of Swords, she is discerning as FUCK as to what she allows in and out of her energy field. Like Queen of Swords in particular, she's very protective of her own heart, her mind, and she's very discerning about, like, you could say, she is the queen who will take her sword to anything that is not of truth, and just kind of like in a very Kali kind of way, just boom, like out of sight, out of mind, so to speak. And I think, just to even emphasize more of that transformational energy, like, look at all these butterflies. Like, I'm really getting this sense, we have, like, death, which this is kind of a morbid photo in this one especially, but, like, look at all those butterflies that just emerge. Like, this is some deep mental clarity that y'all are establishing here, and I just want to really honor that and just say, keep being your own doula to your process, to whatever that process is that you're going through. Yeah, this is a really cool reading. I had no idea that this was all gonna happen, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull one to two oracle cards. What they're affirmation cards, actually. So if they, we'll pull these affirmation cards, and if these affirmation cards resonate for you, feel free to work with them. So we've got those two cards. So the first card is, I see the beauty in all things. Beautiful. I see the beauty in all things. And I just want to highlight, that can be a challenging thing, it requires just that quality of presence to be able to flip the switch on the things that we oftentimes want to deem are, negative. It's easy to say that things are beautiful when, something is very attractive or alluring to us. But when things, to our mind feel like they're wrong, so to speak, sometimes we just have to flip the switch. But in any case, we have the second card, which is, I am worthy of love and happiness. And I love this so much. I think this is just a really important message to really, or an affirmation to really work with. I think this is one that's really resonating for me. We make oftentimes a lot of these things, love and happiness, very conditional. So what I'm getting here is just like this very sacral energy too. How do we let go of that conditionality? How can we just let joy, wonder, and our creative essence like emerge right here, right now? So yeah, in any case, yeah, this was so fun to record. If you want to drop a comment and let me know how this resonated for you, I would love to hear how that was. If you would like to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. And if you'd like to keep up with the things that I'm doing, you can check out my website at vulnerableheartmeditation.com. I've also got a upcoming online series called Phoenix Rising, which starts Tuesday, November 19th. So if you'd like to join in on that, please go to my website, go to the upcoming events section. It's going to be 5 weeks of creative, I was going to say mastery, and that's part of it, but it's really about tapping into our creative essence, letting, on a frequential level, letting ourselves hold our frequency and letting ourselves attune to creative overflow. And by that, what I really mean is just like realizing we are the creator. We are the person who gets to allow creation to flow through us. There's a lot to it. I will just put it like that. And we're also going to really be unpacking just a lot of the beliefs that we have maybe inherited about what it means to be creative, what it means to be successful, so on and so forth. So yeah. Anyway, I hope this message found you so well. Many blessings and take care. Bye.